Teenagers getting a back tattoo.
I got a fake ID. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Love the t-shirt.
Thank you very much. I had to wear it. Dug it out of the dress.
Heck yeah.
So congratulations, season 2. Hawk is pretty much a badass. What was that like, shaving your head like that for the first time, getting a mohawk?
My dad was so pumped. I think he was more excited than I was because I think he always wanted to have a mohawk. And I think there's like a lot of people just really wanted to have a mohawk but never just went out and did it because that's commitment, you know? I loved it. It's so much fun. As many times as I could, I would like leave set and be like, no, don't take my hair down. Like I wanna go out like this, you know? I love the hairdo. It's so cool. And the writers make me look so badass, so I'm always down for it.
And in the trailer, did I see like a back tattoo or something too?
Yeah, the big back tattoo is there.
Teenagers getting a back tattoo.
I got a fake ID. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
How does it feel to play what seems like a badass in this season?
It is so fun. It is so incredibly surprising that I got this role, and I had such a good time with it. I mean, I was just happy that someone took a chance on me to play it because I don't think a lot of people would. It was a really fun thing to do.
And it's a reunion for you and Jacob, which I love. Was that fun getting to, you know, because sometimes coming into the second season, you don't know anybody, but here you had a pal, right?
Oh my gosh, it changes everything because Jacob like helped introduce me to everyone, and it's so nice just seeing a familiar face, and it just feels homier, especially because we were filming in Atlanta, so it was just nice knowing someone that's there, and Jacob's awesome. He brings such good energy to his character too. It's insane.
What is one big tease you can give me for each of your characters?
For Samantha, I will say she picks up where she left off in season 1, and we see a lot of physicality from her, which it takes place in all different ways. I feel like it's not just like the traditional kata. It's also she comes into her own and becomes a little bit of a badass, I think, and then she learns to rein it back a little bit in other ways too. So finding that balance is a big part for Samantha this year.
I would say the fact that we left off with Robbie, you know, becoming this kind of a better kind of kid, and but however, you know, he has his delinquent side, so he maybe possibly could fall back into that every once in a while.
And completely suppress it.
No.
Season 2, we have, you know, Miguel right after he wins the tournament, really debating as to whether or not it was worth his actions. And I think it's a very important lesson to learn, and I think it's going to be nice to see how those consequences treat him for the rest of the season. And going into season 2, Miguel has a lot of work on, just like teenagers across the world do. And we're going to see him try to navigate himself, you know, with Cobra Kai, but also trying to, you know, juggle other things.
Dimitri's definitely got a bit of an arc going this second season, a lot of stuff going on. He gets hit a lot, I'll say that much. He gets hit, yeah.
What are those scenes like to film? I mean, there's one thing about punching, but to get hit, you know, I feel like that's harder to do.
That's definitely a different thing because the Cobra Kai people and Miyagi-Do people, they do their own stunts, so it can get tough. They fight, you know, it's interesting.
Hawk definitely has the new hairstyle. He has some red hair. With that comes a little bit of a personality change. Not a personality change, but let's just say Kreese is in the dojo and there's some influence that gets thrown on him.
We saw him get quite aggressive towards the end, and with Kreese, he's gonna go that way.
Yeah, I like to call him the Shadow Sensei. He definitely influences all the Cobras. Everybody has like their own little arc this season, which I love. Everybody goes through a certain kind of transformation, and it's very interesting. I can't wait for people to see it.
I am just so excited for them to see this very honest, real, feels very real to me, this character, and it's also just so cool to kick ass as someone, and I feel like I've never been able to do that as a character, like just to really throw down and get dirty in this part. It's cool.
Do you have a favorite like stunt or a move that you got to learn and actually do?
Oh my, I really enjoyed getting to learn all of the kicks, but then also when all technique is kind of thrown aside for her at one point and she just gets to really go at it and like pull hair, like full-on brawl, and the rules are kind of thrown out the window. It's not in the dojo. I feel like that was one of the most fun things to learn, and it's just cool when it's all choreographed and you're not hurting anyone and you can just go for it, and like to be able to throw a punch is something I never did. I never just threw a punch at someone as hard as I could, and it was cool just being able to do that. It's really a release.
What about the relationship with the dads? Obviously that's causing some conflict as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, considering I'm Johnny's son and training with Johnny's nemesis, Daniel, it can cause some rift. You know, everyone kind of, they're fighting over it, but Robbie deep down knows what's right, and in time, maybe something will mend everything, but we don't know yet.
I feel like for Samantha, her journey with her dad is, she kind of went through a phase of like, ugh, dad. And she kind of, pushed karate aside a little bit. And then I think, we saw at the end of season 1, she's coming back to knowing kind of that was a big part of who she was and her relationship with her father and things like that. So I think season 2 really showed more of that for me, and that was just really cool, like getting to work with Ralph and getting to kind of like, through the karate and things like that, rebuild this relationship that she had with her dad as her like sounding board.
And how is he going to handle the arrival of Kreese?
It's going to be a little off-putting at first. It's going to be weird to see this guy, for the longest time, Miguel has felt like Johnny Lawrence is the top, at the top of the mountain, and all of a sudden there's a guy who comes in who's even higher than that. So I think it's going to be weird to see that conflict between Miguel and Kreese, Kreese and Johnny and Miguel, but it's going to pan out well.
What about Miguel and Sam? Any chance to repair at least a friendship, maybe?
You know what? There will be contact. There definitely, we do have a connection in the second season. Whether or not that's a romantic relationship, we'll definitely see. But to be quite honest, there will always be that, that first love kind of thing going on, and we're gonna see how that ends up at the end of season 2.
I'm still rooting for a friendship, if anything.
Yes, yeah, I am too. Don't worry.
And from the trailer, you're getting to do some of the iconic training stuff. Was that kind of surreal to sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna wax a car, I'm gonna paint a fence?
It was kind of surreal because I had a little bit of that in the first season, all the wax on, wax off, and by the time they said, oh yeah, you're gonna be at Miyagi's house and you're gonna be doing a little bit of that, it was a little nerve-wracking as well because I didn't know quite what the right form was. So Ralph was definitely there, and I was definitely asking him as much as possible, am I doing this right? Are you sure I'm doing this right? Okay, I gotta do this right because otherwise the fans are gonna be mad at me. The fans are gonna be mad at me and I can't do that.
Hey, he got to wax the actual car.
I love that they still have that.
That's like, I think definitely the coolest. Like, oh my gosh.
What's been your favorite fan response to this whole thing? Because everybody has embraced this show, which obviously it could have gone either way.
Yeah, exactly. I love, some people have tagged me, especially for Halloween. I got a bunch of little kids dressed up as Hawk and had like temporary blue like in their hair and stuff. I thought that was so cool. That was really cool to see that. Kids, not only like these super fans of Karate Kid from 35 years ago are watching the show, but like 5, 6, 7-year-old kids are watching, even though there's cuss words, but I'm proud of it, I guess.
That's the real world.
Yeah, seriously, yeah, they're hearing it anyways, I guess.
Tell people why they should tune into season 2.
Oh my gosh, the nostalgia, first of all, from the Karate Kid. There's so many throwbacks and flashbacks and so much heart from the Karate Kid. I think it's put into this show, which is why some people responded to it first season, and I think there's a lot of that in second season, and it's just bigger and bigger fights, and I'm there, so you should tune in.